Hi everyone! Today it's another new band, this time called The 1975. The 1975. Leaves me wondering, where did that number come from? Okay. Well, the song is called Robbers, and I have a little bit to read about it. The 1975 are an English pop rock band formed in Wilmslow, Cheshire in 2002. Oh, fairly recent. All of the band's albums hit #1 in the United Kingdom and charted in the Billboard 200, garnering critical praise and appearing in numerous publications' year-end and decade-end lists. Rolling Stone stated that the band has been at the forefront of modern pop rock since their debut, with Billboard declaring them the most ambitious pop rock band of their generation. They have received several awards and nominations, including 4 Brit Awards, 2 Ivor Novello Awards, as well as 2 nominations for the Mercury Prize and 2 nominations for Grammy Awards. In addition, they have been awarded Band of the Decade at the 2020 NME Awards. So it seems like, all the way up through 2020 at least, they are still quite popular. Robbers was released as the 6th single from their self-titled debut on the 26th of May, 2014. So, I'm curious to see what this band sounds like. Pop rock? A bit different from the more heavy rock and metal rock newer bands that I've been listening to recently. So, let's see what it sounds like. This whole string orchestra sound, which was part of the introduction, actually, it first sounded like an orchestra warming up to me. All the chaos and noise of every instrument trying out its notes, and then it quickly organized and became clearer and and it's such a classical sound to me, but it's just looping over and over and over and over and over, kind of like a broken record, and then the other sonic elements. We have the very present drums, and then this kind of spacey, soft vocal part is such an interesting, kind of unexpected to me mix of sounds. And well, I guess I really can't say what pop music is in one sense, because I don't really spend time listening to pop music, but pop rock, I guess I've listened to some rock bands that are or songs that are styled as pop rock. And this one is so different from those. It's not really the sound I was expecting. So I guess that category is a bit broader than I realized. At least what I hear at the beginning here. She gets this gun, he's begging, babe, stay, 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 stay. I'll give you one more time. We'll give you one more fight. Said one more line. Okay. So, all right, I'm trying to think about this pop rock identity. And actually, the more I listen, the more I feel like, okay, yes, it can kind of fit in there. But still, the strings, orchestra sound in the mix, and then the drums and the voice. And then there's this, kind of synth chorus type voice in the background. But what I'm noticing about this entire piece of music is the dynamic scheme, the way that the music is shaped. And what stands out to me most strongly about that. Okay, yes, we have some quieter places, some stronger places, places where it's fuller, places where the texture is lighter, all of those things. The voice is stronger here, gentler here, all of that. But the thing that stands out to me most is how the drums are kind of the guidelines for the entire piece. It's as if what the drums do mark what the rest of the piece is doing. I'm not sure that I would say that the drums are actually shaping the piece. But how could I describe this? Well, let's say I'm coloring in a picture. The drums are the lines of the picture that are on the page, and I'm coloring within those lines. It's kind of like that, where, well, I'm going to finish listening to the piece because I'm close to the end, and then I want to go back and show a couple places where it really stands out to me as that kind of balance of power, shall we say, between the drums and the other instruments. And the thing that makes me notice it is not just the fact that I feel that that's what the drums are doing, but the fact that the drums themselves are actually feeling quite simple. And the idea that something which is really not... Okay, most of this music could sound fine without the drums. It's almost as if they're disposable in the end, although they're such a delineator as well. It's a funny sort of conflicted feeling I get with the rest of the music and the drums, and it's interesting to me. Okay, we'll listen through the rest of the piece, and then I'll go back and show you more about what I'm noticing with that. Couple final squeaks of the guitar there at the end. Okay, let's go find a few spots that really stood out to me as the music is following exactly the lines drawn by the drums. First of all, there's this string intro. It's like an orchestra warming up, almost like kind of a school orchestra sound, isn't it? And then out of that, we start to hear a bit of order. And here come the drums. this is one of those moments right at the beginning where, okay, drums, fine, and the drums are suddenly drawing the lines around the music to my ears. And everything fits perfectly within the lines. Okay, and then moving up to here, as the dynamic is changing, same drum beat. And I think it's the timing of when everything else changes and when the drums change. But we hear just a little bit more drum as the music starts to diminish. And just at that moment that the music starts to diminish, the drums also change. So again, it feels as if the drums are drawing lines around this diminuendo that's happening in the music. Right there also. That is kind of a standard thing where the drums anticipate a new section. They kind of herald a new musical event happening. It has something to do with the precision, the timing. Perhaps it's the use of recording techniques, even production techniques. How much of this is done on a computer after the recording? I don't know, but this balance between all the sound, which is really quite a lot, the strings swirling and everything else moving around, still it feels like these drums are the markers of the edges. And everything fits right exactly within and fills it in. Oh yes, and when this chorus comes in. So there is some variety, there's some texture. I would say that this piece to me feels kind of two-dimensional with the borders of it marked by the drums. And well, as I said, it's a mix and a sonic experience that is different from the other pop rock pieces that I've listened to, at least that I'm recalling right now. And it does sound very modern to my ears. Let's listen to one more spot where I think you'll hear what I'm talking about as well. Again, it's a place where the music changes, and that change is outlined by the drums. There it goes again. So how does this balance of instruments impact my perception of the piece? Well, Robbers, the story is kind of, it feels kind of juvenile in a way. And the music itself, it gives me the feeling of maybe a sort of glossy comics book image of, okay, we've got these illustrations of a story kind of illustrated in comics, but it's glossy. The paper is shiny. It's not the old style comics, but this is something a little bit more modern, but still very juvenile and it feels like it would appeal to a very specific audience, which is quite large, right? Kind of the middle school, high school audience. And even in the lyrics, I hear references that push me in that direction. The first line, she had a face straight out of a magazine. Well, a magazine, it's like, who's sitting looking at a magazine with this idea in their mind? And then when she gets his gun, he's begging, babe, stay, 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 stay. I'll give you one more time. It's kind of a little bit scattered in its expression lyrically. But it's enough for us to start piecing together this picture. And that's why it makes me think of this sort of comic picture story of an illustration here, another one here, another one here. A little bit scattered. Now, coming off at the end, it's much harder now the police have come. I'll shoot him if it's what you ask. They're driving past my old school. That also makes me think of a sort of illustration that appeals to the school-aged kids. Well, my old school, it's this feeling of a very modern, glossy, colorful, but two-dimensional musical story. What I enjoyed most about it is this kind of colorful experience of hearing this mix of string orchestra with a different type of voice that it feels like, again, they're separate from each other. Separate, but filling in the lines, coloring in the spaces. And, well, that's my first experience with the 1975. I almost wonder if maybe they ought to be named the, 2002? When they were first formed? But 1975? Okay, it works. I'm very curious if there's a story behind how they came up with that number for their band name, band identity. So if anybody knows that, tell me, drop a note in the comments and I'll be keeping an eye on it. And I'll see you soon.